I don't think that's a problem at all. I think it's awesome. The entire point is that like parents literally send their kids to learn martial arts specifically so they don't become like Rampage Jackson's son. That's what's supposed to happen. Okay? Chatter said ban hands because people are throwing them. Anyway, let's talk about Quentin Rampage Jackson, or Raja Jackson, 25, son of Quentin Rampage Jackson. Apparently, there was another instance on Kick where there was like a dude that almost died. My 71-year-old mother has recently discovered you. Hell yeah. HasanAbi is for everybody.
What an unbelievably crazy week on Kick. I was just talking about the French streamer Jean Parmenov, who passed away in his sleep on stream after a marathon of abuse from some other streamers. And just now, I literally just finished streaming Resident Evil 6, and I was taking a little tinkle, and I got sent a little something that is so diabolical, I had to hop back in the saddle and yap about it. It is incomprehensible that yet another potential death was just streamed on Kick. I'm recording this an hour after it happened, and the victim is currently still in the ICU, so I guess by the time I post this, I'll know whether or not they passed away, but I'm going to keep this part in here right now because it's up in the air. A Kick streamer, Raja Jackson, who is the son of Rampage Jackson, and also a professional fighter, just went ballistic on a wrestler during a wrestling event on stream. He picks the wrestler up, slams him on the mat, and then lays down 27 punches to the man's skull, most of which were delivered while he was unconscious. And by the end of it, he is bleeding and bloodied. They couldn't wake him up. They said he was barely breathing, and someone even used the word flatline, that he was flatlined in the ring. This is not fake. This is not scripted.
So there are two wrestlers that are doing like the scripted wrestling, and then he just like gets into the ring. He is out of the ICU now. He's alive today, thank God. It is people are speculating like, is this real? Is this staged? Son of MMA fighter Rampage Jackson loses it on pro wrestler Psycho Stu and brutally goes insane. Too much video exists of a pre-fight altercation, the fight, and then him on the phone in the parking lot finding out whether the wrestler was still down. What do you think? So that the rest of this is not scripted. I'm pretty sure that like someone intervened, like the slam. It could be that the slam was scripted, and then the like, but it's clear that it's not. It's clear that like the punches are not. You know what I mean? Because when you do this kind of thing, like you're supposed to sell it. You're supposed to. You're not supposed to actually hit the person. Or when you do, you're not supposed to like actually hit the person with force, okay?
I did my best to censor this. It is brutal. It is extremely hard to watch. I also cut the clip short, but they pan back and he is covered in blood. Raja Jackson is a professional fighter who has unloaded, I counted 27 blows to an unconscious man. And they all are connecting. This is not like fake. It's not like he's pulling any of his punches. They are all hitting squarely on this man's skull, bouncing his head off of the mat. And I said most of them were when he was unconscious. All of them are while he's unconscious. When I watched it back, it's clear that when he slammed him on the mat, his head hit the mat and it knocked him out immediately. So all 27, potentially more, punches that he threw were on an unconscious man. That can be fatal. That is most oftentimes fatal. And he wasn't done either. It's not like he just stopped.
Dude, the slam was not scripted. Do you see how hard he threw the guy? Raja literally said he was going to f the guy up on a stream before the event, said he was going to get his lick back. Jackson's contact with the org said Jackson was supposed to just do a double leg takedown and a fake punch. Jackson says to his chat that he was said to take him down and throw a punch, but that he had other plans, slam and many real punches.
And said, okay, well, that's plenty. I've had my fill. He was still going. The only reason there weren't more punches thrown by him is because the other wrestlers were able to separate him. But he was...
Yeah. He was getting payback in air quotes because he got his sensitive feelings hurt by the guy. He explicitly states in live that he's not following the script and he's going to beat the shit out of him. He's a monster and should go to prison.
And his oldest son whole life. I knew.
Just a few weeks ago, Rampage Jackson revealed that he saved up bail money for his son Raja since he knew he wasn't going to college. Okay, well, you know, that's not an indication of anything. That's one of those things where it's like he could be saying that in any way. Like he could be just like joking or whatever, and you just like take that super sincerely.
Fighting against them to go back and keep beating this unconscious man. He probably wouldn't have stopped punching him until his head popped like a balloon. It's extremely scary, and even if he does pull through, this could have life-changing repercussions with brain damage and so many other complications for the rest of his life, if he even survives, which we don't know yet. He apparently flatlined in the ring and is currently still in the ICU, and we don't have any updates. This is terrifying stuff. Hello, it's Charles, first thing in the morning here, and we don't have a ton of official updates on the condition of that wrestler, but the father of Raja Jackson, Rampage Jackson, gave an update where he is saying that Psycho Stu, that's the name of the wrestler, is alive and is stable. And he also says that he's clearing up misinformation about his son. But then in his statement, he doesn't clear up any misinformation. He just confirms what everyone already knows, that this was completely out of control, inexcusable behavior that Rampage Jackson also doesn't condone. So I don't know what misinformation he thinks he's clearing up with this. He's just agreeing with what everyone else is saying, that his son went berserk. I guess maybe the misinformation demon that he was exercising here.
Yeah, he's bro. Here's the post, right? Is awake, Raja unexpectedly. So here, I want to clear up some misinfo. I've been confirmed. Stuart Smith is awake and stable. Raja was unexpectedly hit in the side of the head by him moments before Smith's match. Raja was told that he could get his payback, in air quotes, in the ring. I thought it was a part of the show. Under what circumstances is like intent to with your bare hands another human being going to be a part of a fake show? Wrestling is not, I mean, wrestling is a very physical contact sport and you do get hurt. But the entire point of it is that there is prior consent in the process. Some people do die when they're pulling off incredibly impressive feats of strength and stunts and the like. But overall, it's never like directly one fighter straight up beating the living shit out of another wrestler. I thought it was a part of the show. It was bad judgment and a work that went wrong. Raja is an MMA fighter, not a pro wrestler, and had no business involved in an event like this. I don't condone my son's actions at all. He suffered a concussion from sparring only days ago and had no business doing anything remotely close to physical contact. As a father, I'm deeply concerned with his health and the well-being of Mr. Smith. That being said, I'm very upset that any of this happened, but my main concern now is that Mr. Smith will make a speedy recovery. I apologize on his behalf and to Kick for the situation. Yeah, a death in wrestling is usually more akin to a stuntman dying while recording a movie, not what we just saw. Exactly. It's never like that. That's something entirely different. It's not, you know, an active felony with intent to murder. That was what we saw. This was the altercation that happened before the wrestler did a fake match. Things. Oh, okay. So this is.
I think that's what. Oh! You don't sell it? No, he's not a fucking.
I'm not going to show the rest of it, but like, see, that is a performance. That is a performance. Okay, that's a performance. That is a show. That's a great example of.
You don't sell it?
That is a great example of the performance aspect of wrestling. Okay. He apologized like 10 times after, by the way. The wrestler even apologized to him backstage before the event. They also confirmed it was a prop. He even cupped it with his hand so it was crunched on his own hand and not his head. The dude thought Raja was a wrestler because of the cameras. Yeah, wrestlers do hardcore style all the time, cutting each other up and spilling a lot of blood in the ring, but it's all consensual. Yes, they literally hit one another with like nail guns and shit. But again, it's a part of the performance. No one is saying it's not physical, right? No one is saying that it's not a physical altercation. It's just that there is a part of a performance and also people are consenting to it.
He always think that we're working over here, like it's part of the storyline.
Just hit random. What kind of homo thug shit?
Oh, yeah, Rampage. And so, yeah.
No, bro.
Go ahead, Stu. This is out there. Because he always think it's a work, dude.
Yo, he's already hot, bro.
Psycho Stu apologized to Raja Jackson 3 times. It was obvious Psycho wanted to play along / skip with Raja, but was mistaken by who he was dealing with. Raja played cool, but the whole time he was just preparing and bottling his anger to take it out on him. Prayers to him.
Fucking seal that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. Hey, it's going to all work out, dude.
Yeah.
His father agitated him and mocked him in front of his chat. Raja's chat was bullying him, cooking him up, and challenging him for 90 minutes to get into his head. Then the event leader said it's Raja's turn to go in as planned, and he did the smash as agreed, but then he kept hitting, and then the guy flatlined.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know. I just thought you were first. You still doing camera.
I get it.
We're not working out. Well, he's going to come out on your mat, too. I know you keep thinking we're working. We're always working.
I get it. Yeah. I get it now. Now you know
what I'm saying, Os? We're always working.
And then Raja afterwards.
Playing with me, bro. Real shit. One of them little bitch and bit me. I'm tired of everybody playing with me and shit.
Raja Jackson, his actions are the epitome of fragile masculinity and how young men are being taught to act with aggression above all else. Violence is not what makes a man, and every grown man who teaches their son that is shameful. Bro, what are we doing? What the fuck are we actually doing? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What the f going on? Like, we just have dudes that are just like living weapons roaming the streets, their heads busted in, constantly looking to do violent retribution at a moment's notice. Like, I don't think this is normal. I don't think this is a normal situation at all. This is not being a man, okay? This is being a child with man strength, but you're not behaving like a man at all. Especially after the dude was like, yo, my mistake. I didn't realize you were not a wrestler. I apologize. They're about to do a performance together later. Like, clearly the dude recognizes that. And then you just go maximum CTE mode on him in the process of like trying to do this performance.
Think I'm always playing and shit. Call me bitch and shit. None of bitch, bro. At the end of the day, I'm gonna stand up for myself because I'm tired of everybody playing with me, bro. Real shit. Come on, man.
The pro wrestler Raja Jackson Attack was a former Army veteran suffering from PTSD and relied on pro wrestling as a way to escape his personal struggles.
In 2009.
We're leaving, man. We're walking away, bro. Let's not take it serious. Let's go. Come on, Roger. Let's go. Let's go, Roger. Let's go. Roger, let's go. Roger, I'm telling you, let's go. You listen to me. Listen to me, Roger.
Adults acting like children is a very American thing now. I just don't. Dude, the crazy thing about like working out and like martial arts is that it's supposed to instill confidence in you. The knowledge that you can like beat the shit out of someone is already a reality in that situation. So with that knowledge, you are supposed to act a very different way. Like, martial arts is about discipline. It's about hard work. And it's also on top of that about like the confidence that you have that you do have a lot of power. You hold a lot of power, and with a lot of power comes a lot of responsibility. Uncle Ben, with great power comes great responsibility. And it blows my mind that there are so many people out there that just never teach that fundamental side of the story, the responsibility element of it. I don't know. It's not just CTE, because there's definitely a lot of fighters who just like don't behave like this. But I guess the secret sauce in this situation is how you are taught and how you are raised. But this is dangerous. It's like giving a child an AR-15, okay? Except we live in the United States of America and we do that too. So, there you have it. It's just like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
You need to listen to me right now, Roger. Let's go.
I don't give you guys trying to jump me and shit.
Let's go.
You ain't gonna do shit to me, bro.
Let's go, Roger.
You can't do shit to me. You can't with me, bro.
Roger, let's go.
You can't with me. Just playing with me.
This is every drunk dude at a bar behavior, but trained in MMA and sober. Yeah. Oh, like there are so many additional factors at play here. How old is Raja? The narrative makes him sound like he's 15. No, he's 25. I don't know, man. And I'm sure that like the onlookers, especially in this space in general, are gonna clearly have a racialized component attached to the story as well. This is like an opportunity for every David Duke affiliate, every goddamn white supremacist to be like, you see, you know, and then that in and of itself is also horrible and completely unacceptable. So I suspect that is another component here as well. And I haven't even seen the reaction from the internet, but I suspected it. Rampage Jackson's son Raja has been banned on Kick after getting a phone call to the pro wrestler he knocked out. Still hasn't moved.
Pissed me off though, Andre.
I understand that, but now they can't wake the nigga up. He's fucking in the ring flatline.
My bad.
You didn't have to do all that shit. I understand y'all had heat. You didn't have to fucking take advantage.
All right, I'll call you back later.
I just saw the video.
Shit pissed me off though.
This isn't an excuse, but just contextualizing. Raja got a concussion in MMA a day before and has been throwing up and feeling weird all day. His father and chat have been constantly bullying him for years publicly, and Raja has always taken that personally. He has felt that everyone thinking he's a bitch and inferior living in his father's shadow. This whole shit is a powder keg. He said, my bad, after the dude said he's flatlined. I just don't know what we do with this. You know what I mean? What do we do with this? Like, how do we get here? This is crazy. I mean, there will most likely be criminal repercussions for this. Like, make no mistake, for sure. But I'm thinking about like broader strokes. Okay, broader strokes. I'm thinking like societal attitude. How do we do harm reduction? Because I'm a pussy, you know. I'm looking at this from not the perspective of like one guy who has been bullied and like had his brain pummeled in a day prior, literally snapping in a situation where there's supposed to be like a performance taking place, and then using that performance to like try to kill a human being. I'm talking about like the way that we have serialized this kind of content. Because like even the fact that you got a dude like this getting egged on by his chat is just so terrifying. And there was definitely like a mainstream interest in this sort of thing. You're right. Fake Vine challenges in 2015 got more coverage than Kick's live stream felony trend. Like back in the day, they used to be like, oh my God, kids are eating Tide Pods or whatever. Like they would literally exaggerate even shit that wasn't actually happening. Okay, out of fears that like this is what the children are looking at. Nowadays, you have a crime factory and people do not touch it. People don't talk about it. People are just like, whatever. What are you going to do about it? You know, everything sucks. And maybe because I'm 34 and I've seen trends change over time, that I feel like everything is just like getting increasingly worse, because I wasn't born into an environment with an iPad in my hand and beaming whatever the internet wants to show me with, you know, clickbait driven, violence driven, right-wing reactionary sentiment driven algorithm cultures, like rotting me to my core as a child. But because I've seen trends change over time, I feel like everything is just getting worse and worse. Are you ignoring the fact that this couldn't have happened if that guy wasn't trained to kill another person? Ban MMA boxing and anything that causes CTE? Bro, what do you mean he can get trained to kill a person if he can get riled up by his chat? Ban MMA? That's a crazy solution to this. I don't think there's any issue with mixed martial arts or learning martial arts at all. I don't think that's a problem at all. I think it's awesome. The entire point is that like parents literally send their kids to learn martial arts specifically so they don't become like Rampage Jackson's son. That's what's supposed to happen. Okay? Chatter said ban hands because people are throwing them. Ban closing your hands into a fist. I don't think MMA is the problem as a pro scene. If it breaks people, there needs to be way more stringent regulation around CTE and way more strict rules about like what to do when someone gets concussed, to protect the fighters and to make sure that this kind of shit doesn't happen. I have a black belt in judo, and the sport has taught me so much about both discipline and self-respect. Also, I won't lie, it gives me so much comfort to know that I can defend myself. Martial arts have a lot of good in them. Exactly. Like under normal circumstances, you're supposed to do martial arts so you don't do what this guy did. Okay? Like that's not even like the best case scenario. That's the expected scenario. Now, of course, if your parent is also kind of up in the head, if your parent is also kind of up in the head and has basically made you do martial arts so that you can become just as up as he is, then obviously that's a little different. Brother, it's live streaming culture as a whole is so toxic now because a kid, his dad was hanging out with Nico trying to pick up girls half his age when all this shit was going down last night. That's wild. But yeah, what this dude did was not martial arts. Okay, what this dude did was attempted murder. It's a little different than martial arts. Like, it's clear that he snapped.
Pro in 2009. I had just got out of the military, probably about 6 months earlier. I got out of the military, I joined Knox Pro, because I needed something to focus on. I needed something to help me adjust back into civilian life. A lot of veterans, it's hard for them to readjust into civilian life coming from the life of the military. I'm an American soldier that suffers from PTSD. Being in front of a crowd, it doesn't give me as much anxiety and aggression as I thought it would. Pro in 2009.
I can't believe this dude almost died, man. That's crazy. Like, people almost die in wrestling quite frequently, more frequently than you would think, but it's never because of this. You know what I mean? Is he still alive? Yeah, he is. He is. I think he left the ICU yesterday or something.
It was about his son actually getting like the permission for payback on Psycho Stu for an earlier confrontation. And what he's referring to there is they had like a little beef before the event started, and someone had told Raja Jackson that he could like double leg take down Psycho Stu in the ring and then throw like a fake punch, and that would be it to like settle the beef and create like this storyline. But Raja Jackson on stream, on camera, says that he is going to hurt Psycho Stu. He said he will not stop punching him until people will yank him off of him. So he took that like pseudo invite, like green light to be involved in the wrestling event as a permission slip to go brutally assault this man and beat him within an inch of his life. Like, I think you could also make a case that this is attempted murder. This was premeditated assault that he planned on not stopping at any point until third parties.
Under different circumstances, I would say, oh, this is when one crash happens, everyone is primed into like paying attention to additional plane crashes happening, and therefore, whoa, what the hell? I'm effing again. Nice, dude. Nice. Fantastic. Love that. Love that. Thank you. There's a bit of a stutter. Hold up. Let's see if we can go through it. 1 second. Just hold. Just hold. Just hold. Just hold. Don't even refresh right now. Just hold. Don't know if I'm back or not. It's just always the same. It's dipping again. It's dipping again. It's dipping again. I might fire off the bag if necessary. No stutter on my end. You've been fine. You are back, but there's definitely a delay. Okay, delay check, delay check, delay check. Subscribe for free with a Twitch Prime. Get those Twitch Primes out. Okay, the delay is bigger than I thought it was. I am going to fix the ingest, so you're going to see a minor F in like 10 seconds, okay? There is going to be a minor F in 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're back. Okay, delay check once more. All right, we're back. We're good. Okay. It was longer than a 10-second delay, it seems. But we're back. All right, everybody hit 1 in the chat if you see this. And subscribe with a Twitch Prime or for $6. Okay, delay's gone. All right, delay's gone. Let's do it. Let's continue.
Intervened. Like, I really think you could make like a real argument that he had went in there with the full intentions of killing Psycho Stu. That's what it looks like to me.
Tell you guys this, they told me to hit him and just leave. Somebody who pull me off of him will leave. I'm telling you, I'm gonna hit him as many times as I can. Watch.
That's indefensible. You can see him literally plan.
I hope Charlie talks about the ref that didn't do shit. Bro, that's not a real ref. What do you mean? Have you never watched wrestling? Sometimes the refs actually beat the shit out of the fighters. Like, it's not like a real ref that's supposed to separate people after like the other person is concussed. They're all actors. Dude, it's funny. It's funny when you're like, refs in wrestling do a lot, dude. Yeah, but they also aren't there to. They're also there to do acting. I feel like I've seen refs beat the shit out of fighters. Like, when you watch that, do you go, when you watch that, do you go, wait a minute, why is the ref fighting the fighter?
It off the back of them giving him like the instructions for a work where he'd come in and he'd deliver like a hit, like a fake hit, and then he'd be pulled off and that'd be the end of it. And he is saying, but watch this, I'm going to keep punching him. Like, he is blatantly stating this. It is very clearly a premeditated assault. And like I said, I really think his goal was to kill Psycho Stu there. It really seems like that was his mission. And you can't chalk this up to confusion where he was directed to do something but then just went a little far, like, mistakenly. He is, with his own voice, his own vocal folds flapping with their own volition here. He is stating, they told me to do this, but instead, I'm going to do this. I'm going to punch him as many times as I possibly can. He is stating clearly that they told him one thing, and he is not doing that. Instead, he is going to punch the shit out of him, beat him within an inch of his life. You can't possibly say that he just got confused with the stage directions here of the storyline. He is saying that he is going to go punch him as many times as possible and disregard what they said he is permitted to do, like what they planned on. It is premeditated assault by every possible definition. Now, what started all of this, and I've seen people joking about it like, oh, haha, Raja Jackson must not know that wrestling is fake, and he thought the heel was being mean to his favorite babyface, so he took matters into his own hands, tee-hee-hee. But what actually happened is Raja Jackson was touring the event and meeting the wrestlers backstage, and of course the wrestlers are all playing characters, and when it comes to wrestling, there's a little something called kayfabe. And so they are going to portray their character to the best of their ability and keep everything as authentic and genuine as possible.
One of the craziest parts about this is that, like, they kind of implemented this in the UFC as well, except those do actually beat one another. You know what I mean? Because, like, and half the time in the UFC, the way that they do it, especially in the post-Conor McGregor era, is like the kayfabe is not a kayfabe at all, but it's real. And it's also just unfiltered racism half the time. Like... So I don't even know if you could call that kayfabe. I think that's just like two guys that hate one another, that could kill one another, actively saying to one another they're going to kill one another.
And Psycho Stu was in character and misunderstood that Raja Jackson was not a worker in the event.
Worry about him. You need to be worried about Psycho Stu.
Psycho Stu?
What, you don't know me?
Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's a little...
Oh, you don't. He's not a worker, bro. Calm down.
Yeah, what was that?
You're good.
What was that?
He did up, though. He did up, for sure. I mean, nothing is deserving of, like, what he got. But HasanAbi respond to what?
You don't sell it?
Dude, he's not a fucking
Bro,
worker.
hold on. I don't play that shit.
like he's doing theater and he doesn't understand it at all. He was like, what the f did you just do to me?
We're good. I know you will. We're good.
And he takes it way too far when he takes a beer can. I don't know if it's like a real beer can or like one of those breakaway like stunt ones, but he takes it and he crushes it on Raja Jackson's head. Then you can see him get really fired up about it, and all the other wrestlers are also saying to Psycho Stu, like,
No. It's not real. He didn't actually hit him hard. No, I know it wasn't a real hit, chatter. Like, he is not a breakaway can either. It's most likely a real can that he pops before and crumples before he fake hits him in the head. Like, he crushes it. So I think the technique, it's a prop can. I don't know if it was a prop can. Like, if you noticed, when he does that, it's either a prop can or he cracked it and crumpled it while he was like landing a fake hit. Like, it's like what a stuntman would do. It exploded, dog. Normal cans don't do that. Where is it? Where is the video? Let's watch it.
Ability and keep everything understood that Raja.
You need to be worried about Psycho Stu.
Psycho Stu?
What, you don't know me?
Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's a little...
Let's see. You can't really tell from this angle. It doesn't matter. He almost got killed. No, I know. This is not a defense of his behavior at all. Yeah, I think he's like literally hitting his own. Yeah, he's selling it. I mean, he's not selling. Look, it's obviously fake. There's no momentum. He uses his entire upper body to basically make it seem like this is an impactful hit. Look at the way his body rotates. That's not how you would actually do a real hit. Like his right leg flies up. Like it's very clearly fake. Like there's no real impact. His head doesn't even move. He actually shelters his head as well. Like he makes sure that his head is like stable, relatively stable with his other hand. Like that's what he's doing. And he's making it seem like he's putting his entire body into this hit. If he did, that would look very different. We have the tech to slow down videos nowadays. And nobody in the crowd is trying to stop him. Like, no, he's not part of the crew. But he does not like it. This guy said fake, still assault and battery. Boom, assault and battery right there. Proper not. What the is assault chat? Stupid chatters. If you hit someone with a foam finger, it's assault. Jesus. Dude, what are you talking about? They're on a wrestling set. Like that's up. But that's a let's let bygones be bygones type of situation, as opposed to what he did in retaliation after he bottled up that anger and resentment towards the dude. Some of you have cop brains, bro. It's crazy. I feel like there is definitely like wrestling fans in here who understand the situation better, because like some of the chatters were saying like this is the type of privilege that like a wrestling fan would actually pay for, right? Like a experience.
You don't sell it?
Dude, he's not a fucking worker, bro.
What the, hold on. I don't play that shit, bro.
Oh, sorry.
No, I will come
we're
up,
good.
bro.
I know you will. We're good.
And he takes it way too far when he takes a beer can. I don't know if it's like a real beer can or like one of those breakaway like.
Bro, it doesn't matter. He later apologized and nothing happened to the guy. It could be a prop and it could not be a prop. It doesn't matter. What do you mean accidents happen? No harm. Came up to the guy and said, and he was apologized to. No, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's precisely what I'm saying. It's like he didn't understand what was going on. Like he thought it was like another wrestler that's coming in, and it's like he's got cameras around. He's like, oh, let's do a performance. Sometimes that performance goes awry when the dude that you're doing a performance with is not in on the, he doesn't understand it.
Stunt ones, but he takes it and he crushes it on Raja Jackson's head. Then you can see him get really fired up about it, and all the other wrestlers are also saying to Psycho Stu, like, bro, what the f*** are you doing? He's not like a worker here or anything. That was too far. And that's what started this. And then Raja Jackson waited until their match. Then he stormed in and then beat him potentially to death for it. Now, I think if Raja Jackson had swung on Psycho Stu after the beer can thing, you could definitely make a strong case that he was acting in self-defense. Because that is unexpected, it was unprovoked, and it was kind of a crazy thing for Psycho Stu to do, not knowing for sure if Raja Jackson was a worker in the event or not. It was a bad...
I mean, technically he was a worker in the event. He was talent. Like he was there to literally throw Psycho Stu and then like land a fake hit. Even then though, obviously he's not, he's a professional fighter and not like a professional wrestler. So it was just like a miscommunication. But again, he's a human being, okay? Not an animal. Both parties here are human beings. What are we doing? Like, talk to one another. What the hell? Anyone be pissed after that, then touching him right after, giving a supposed concussion, how volatile he is as a person, is just a perfect storm for a blow, but plotting and planning the murder of the dude is unacceptable and considerable jail time? Exactly. I don't think that we have anyone who is confused by that aspect of it.
Judgment call for sure from Stu. And he was just like way too committed to being the heel. Like he was really deep into his method acting like Shia LaBeouf style, and he did the beer can thing, and it was definitely over the line. But here's something a lot of people aren't showing enough of, that Psycho Stu was very apologetic when he learned that Raja Jackson was not a worker at the event. He apologized 3 times. They shook hands multiple times, and Raja said, like, hey, it's good, I get it. Multiple times. Meanwhile, he was just like bubbling with anger, waiting for his chance.
How would you feel if he did the beer can on you? I'm a Twitch streamer, right? and I'm going to an event where like I'm going to fake slam a wrestler. Okay, let's say. And before the fake slam happens, the dude comes up and he's like, he sees the cameras on me and he wants to do a performance. And he comes up to me in real time and does that exact same thing. I'd be a little confused. I'd be a little scared, most likely, right? But at no point would I, like someone like Will would 100% immediately sell it. Okay? That was after the fake slam was set up as an apology. Oh, I misunderstood. That's not why he was there. Oh, I thought he was there because he was going to do like a fake slam or some shit. He wasn't going to the event to fake slam. The fake slam deal was made as a form of a settlement / apology. Oh, so he wasn't there to work at all. He wasn't there as a worker at all initially. Oh, I misunderstood that. I read that wrong. I guess he was just like a random, I mean, he was just allowed to stream the event as a kick streamer. He was just there to meet the wrestlers. Even then, I'm there, he comes up to me and he does that. I'd be a little pissed off. Got beer on my shirt. I'm scared. I'm worried. I don't know what's going on. I don't know you, right? I don't know you at all. But immediately, as soon as they communicate to me that this is like a fake thing, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. That's cool. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't just like plot out exactly how I'm going to kill this person with my bare hands afterwards. Any of the FaZe Boys farm a clip with 1 million views. Yeah. The poor guy literally said, as an apology, you give my brain up a bit. Like, why are you still mad after that?
To assault this man.
Yeah, there's beer on my t-shirt and piss in my pants. Okay? That's what's going on. This big burly dude did a simulated attempted murder on me is how I'm analyzing that situation. But as soon as I realized that it's just like, oh, he thought he was doing wrestling, like fake wrestling, I would, I'd be like, oh, all right. Like I don't know if I enjoyed it or not, but it's all good.
Conceal that.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. I'm sorry, bro.
Hey, it's gonna all work out.
Yeah. Hello. I appreciate it.
I didn't know. I just the camera.
I get it.
We're working out. Well, he's gonna come out on your mat, Juice. I know you keep thinking we're working. We're always working.
I get it. Yeah. I get it now. Now you know
what I'm saying? Yeah. We're always working.
What a worm. This is some slimy behavior here. This is some turbo ass. Raja Jackson is now pretending that he understands and forgives Psycho Stu, who is very apologetic minded.
I'm gonna be honest, I think he probably did in that moment, but then he got egged on by his chat, which is so stupid. Okay? I think it's even dumber than the way that this is presented, because I think he got rage baited. His chat kept calling him a pussy. All of his old childhood trauma came back. He's already concussed. And he just snapped. He was like, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to get my lick back, which is crazy. And it's a unique predicament because there's no equivalent to what unfolded here in the past, because this medium didn't exist in the past. You know what I mean? How do you explain to people that like this dude got rage baited into killing someone IRL, like attempting to kill someone in real life? How do you explain it to someone who is over the age of like 30? Misplaced rage and rampage fueled and expressed on Psycho Stu because daddy would whoop him sideways? Maybe. Kick is really live stream live leak? No, for sure. Fake breaking a can on his head would have been better. Imagine the chatters that egged it on for hours are proud of themselves is gross. Yeah.
And he's explaining like, look, I saw the cameras. I thought that this was like another work, that we were building a storyline, this and that. And Raja Jackson's like, no, I get it. And he's like shaking his hand and everything. Meanwhile, he is actively planning of assaulting this man, beating him unconscious and leaving him eating meals through a straw, as he is like pretending to let bygones be bygones here and that they're on good terms. That's unhinged. Now, before showing you some more of the aftermath here, let me introduce you to Psycho Stu. I think you should get a little bit of the lore behind this wrestler that Raja Jackson beat so severely, hospitalizing in the ICU and apparently caused to flatline in the ring.
Pro in 2009. I had just got out of the military, probably about 6 months earlier. I got out of the military, I joined Knox Pro, because I needed something to focus on. I needed something to help me adjust back into civilian life. A lot of veterans...
Are we going to cover the French kick streamer's death? I already did.
It's hard for them to readjust into civilian life coming from the life of the military. I'm American.
Look at the way he dumps him. Okay. Here's how you fake throw someone versus the way Raja did. Okay.
It's hard for them to.
He takes extra care to make sure that his spine is nowhere near, like his head is like completely protected.
In life.
Look.
Coming from the life of the military.
Like he drops him completely flat on purpose. Having to explain wrestling, yeah, because like these guys are professionals. Like this is what they do. They know you're not supposed to like actually slam them head first or neck first into the ground unless you're trying to lift them up. You're like, this is a performance. You try to make sure that the butt is the point of impact. Okay. And these guys, the other guy that's being slammed also knows that that's the case and is ready for that.
I'm an American soldier that suffers from PTSD. Being in front of a crowd, it doesn't give me as much anxiety and aggression as I thought it would.
Yeah. Psycho Stu is a veteran who was suffering from PTSD and found wrestling as a means of escapism and fell in love with the sport. And now is currently hospitalized in the ICU, but apparently is stable, so hopefully Rampage Jackson is accurate with that claim that he is alive and stable. That would be wonderful news.
What?
But what an unbelievable set of circumstances that led to his hospitalization here. Yes, he made a mistake with Rampage Jackson's son here, not knowing whether or not he was a worker and still building the storyline anyway under the impression he was. But it's not a mistake that should have led to something like this, especially when he did everything in his power to try and rectify it and try and apologize for his mistake and explain why it happened and ensure that it was totally unintentional and there wasn't meant to be any bad blood or anything. And he thought that he did accomplish that, but clearly Raja Jackson didn't actually think so. He was just acting. Raja Jackson was flexing his thespian skills here when he was pretending that everything was okay between those two, because what he was actually doing was plotting a premeditated assault on Psycho Stu. Again, that potential argument of self-defense, that has poofed away like Timmy Turner's fairy godparents. That ship sailed a long time ago because he didn't act in response to the threat. Like, after the beer can was crushed on his head, which, again, he wasn't expecting, and that can be dangerous, but he didn't, like, act in the heat of the moment to defend himself from that or anything. Instead, he let it marinate, let his rage bubble up, and then waited for his opportunity to get revenge later. There is no longer a possible case of self-defense here. Like, yes, he was wronged, but he didn't, like, try and defend himself.
I don't get it. There was no property damage, so what's the big deal? True. We only care when there's property damage, obviously. When human lives are at stake, that's irrelevant.
From that threat or anything, he pretended to like move on from it with the guy who did it and then waited to attack him later. And I think you can make a very strong case that it was attempted murder. At the very least, it is a premeditated assault, and based on the things he was saying leading up to it, and based on the behavior in the ring when he was delivering 27-ish blows to an unconscious man's skull, I really think there is a strong argument to be made that he was in there doing that solely to try and kill him. All of this on stream, mind you, and you can even see him respond to the news that the guy that he just unloaded 27 punches on in the ring while he was unconscious is potentially flatlined.
Hello?
You double leg that motherfucker and start welding him. I just saw the video.
Shit pissed me off though, Andre.
I understand that, but now they can't wake the nigga up.
He pissed me off, man. Bro, what do you mean? Your Honor, I was pissed off. That's crazy. Why do we live in a society with rules and shit? Like, what the wait, why is he free? Why isn't he in jail? I think they're already investigating. The cops have the cops are investigating him now.
In the ring, flat.
My bad.
You didn't have to do all that shit. I understand y'all had heat. You didn't have to.
I'll call you back later.
This guy does not seem to care at all. This is a monster right here. In response to hearing that the guy flatlined, he just says, my bad. That's crazy. Kratos had more empathy for the people that he killed in very similar fashion, by the way, with like the unbelievable amount of blows to the head. But at least in Kratos' case, the people he was fighting, they were at least conscious. All of these were delivered to an unconscious man. A man who never even saw this coming, by the way, because he storms into the ring, grabs him, and then slams him. So it wasn't even a fight, but he walks away feeling so tough and accomplished about it with no remorse at all for potentially killing this man.
Taught him up just playing with me, bro. Real shit. One of them was a bitch and bit me. I'm tired of everybody playing with me and shit. Think I'm always playing and shit. Call me bitch and shit. Not no bitch, bro. At the end of the day,
yeah, I don't know. I feel like for the dumbest guys on the planet, when they see him like this, they're like, yeah, you showed him, right? But like, if you're an adult with a couple functioning brain cells, you look at this and you're like, no, dude, what you are doing is behaving like a bitch. You're not behaving like a man at all. Like a big boy in the situation recognizes the power he has. You're not like a little dude. You're not like a kid. You're a massive dude. You're a trained killer. I don't understand how someone can walk around with that level of like harm capacity and then not take that shit seriously. I genuinely don't get it. I don't get it. It's like, if you can literally kill a person with your bare hands, that is something that you should take very seriously. You should be walking with that air of confidence and that air of responsibility that you are completely aware of, that you can just like do a lot of damage to a human being and therefore do everything in your power at all times to never get there.
Stand up for myself because I'm tired of everybody playing with me, bro. Real shit.
He's walking away from this with his chin held high, extremely proud of what's unfolded here. It seems like this might be the happiest moment of his life. The way that he is perceiving this is him standing up for himself. He is not able to have a grasp on the severity.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Easy. Rampage is your father. I understand.
Of what just happened here. He thinks that because the disrespect that he encountered earlier in the day, he was entirely justified to potentially murder this man. And by the way, the wrestlers that were calling him a bitch, well, I imagine they were saying that because he basically sucker punched this guy potentially to death. The guy never even had a chance to fight back because he came into the ring when his back was turned, slammed him down, immediately knocking him unconscious. It wasn't even a fight, it was a surprise attack. So I imagine that's what he's referencing.
Especially because he's like, see, this is what I mean. Look, you see this racist piece of shit? This is like, you don't have to call it the Maz. I saw it and immediately yeeted that little white supremacist fragile baby. Dude, how do you not understand? We're talking about this dude's insecurity, his violent insecurity, his insecurity manifesting in these violent ways, while you also are demonstrating that exact same style of violent insecurity, because that's all white supremacy is. It's maximalist copium. You feel like you never got what you thought you deserved in society. So therefore, you have to live in an alternative universe where you're constantly thinking that an entire group of people, black people, are inferior to you. Okay? Yeah, opposite side of the same coin. That's it. You're such an insecure little man that you have to fantasize about an entire subsect of the population and how inferior they are to you. Dumb.
When it comes to the wrestlers like insulting him and the one that bit him, with everyone that was like getting on top of Raja to get him away from Psycho Stu on the ground, because he was still going back to try and make sure he was dead, it seems. Now, in the rest of the clip here, one of the wrestlers from the event starts walking towards them, talking to them, trying to get them to stay, probably until police get there would be my guess. But he is talking to them and he is shit-talking, trying to goad him into staying. And he's like talking about like, I'll fight you right now. And then it's a back and forth. But Raja Jackson reiterates that he wants to fight more of them there. He wants to continue to beat people within an inch of their life there. It's scary. I cannot imagine a world where he does not go to jail for this. I really can't. Rampage Jackson has tons and tons of money, sure, but I don't know if he's going to be able to outspend the attempted murder charges that his son just racked up here. Now, of course, I'm not a lawyer and I don't have like a magic crystal ball that I can ponder the orb of to see the future, but my guess would be that there will be attempted murder charges for this incident. Because, I mean, I really think it's like, it feels like that's what the goal here was when Raja Jackson was delivering these blows. I mean, I think at bare minimum, you're getting some serious assault charges. Like, no matter what, I think he should be thrown in the slammer for this. This behavior is completely unacceptable. He knew exactly what he was doing. He even on stream states what he's about to do. And he clearly doesn't stop until he is pulled off and then still wants to keep going. All of these blows delivered to an unconscious man. How could you possibly say this is anything other than him trying to kill him? It's sickening. Now, like I said at the start of the video, I've recorded all of this pretty much immediately after it happened, so we still don't know how Psycho Stu is doing, if he's going to pull through from all of this or not. But by the time I post this video, I imagine we'll have some kind of update, so I'll go ahead and put that at the beginning of the video. But
was he banned on Kick? He wasn't initially. They banned him afterwards, and I think they just like, I think they banned him, but it's I think it might have been a suspension. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know how those things work, bro. We barely have. I've been on this platform, Twitch, for however many years I've been on here for. What is it? 7 years now. Okay, and even then, I'm in the dark about like how the moderation works on this platform. I have a decent understanding of it. I do not know what Kick looks like at all. He was banned instantly.